But let's go ahead and watch Stephen Miller just wreck shop, bro, and it's so beautiful to see.
A terrorist organization, and of course he had MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. This is a person that was a clear and present danger to the safety of the American people, and it is a sad reflection on the state of our media and many of the outlets represented in this room that you obsessively try to shill for this MS-13 terrorist. Well, no coverage occurred in your papers about any of the Americans that were raped and tortured and murdered by.
Did he say Americans?
Say again?
Did he say Americans? Hold on, let's go see that again.
Well, no coverage occurred in your papers about any of the Americans that were raped.
He did
No.
say it.
No, he said Americans.
It sounded like he said Americans. Anyways, let's go ahead and just stop it real quick. That is absolutely true. 100%. How there should be so much shame on the media for the coverage of these psycho wife beating fucking child molesting pieces of shits. Like there should be so much coverage on that, and they should feel shame, man. They should feel like they have not done their job. They're not doing anything for the media is supposed to inform the people. If you're not informing the people, then what is your purpose?
Well, the media, they're not journalists no more, man. I mean, they try to paint these illegal immigrants, especially at the MS-13s, as fucking like they all said Father of the Year, but yet they don't even write about the victims whose families they devastated, whose lives they devastated. They don't mention any of that. Like what he's talking about is facts. That's why I like this guy. And yeah, I totally agree with him. Shame on the media.
It's pure shame, bro, and it's just malpractice on the media, bro. The media should not even be around anymore, dude. They've done nothing but step on shit every way possible. They're not informing the people on anything other than they're just manipulating the people, pushing out propaganda. I mean,
Lying.
it might as well be North Korean media, bro, and was it Canadian broadcasting? Like this, what I forgot what it is, the CB some shit. It's state-run media, and it's like you're not the opposition. I'm sorry, you're not the opposition. You are the problem. You're not fighting. You're not fighting Hitler fascism, dude. You're manipulating the people and making these mentally ill psychos run the streets and run amok and harass people, vandalize people's cars, houses, and hurt people. Man, that's all they're doing.
Yeah, they start new propaganda. Look, I mean, look at like hardly anyone's talking about Teslas now.
Yeah,
Now they're talking about Maryland, man, and all these immigrants. I mean, it's like Jesus Christ, man. These guys are just pure evil.
yeah, they definitely are evil.
Raped and tortured and murdered by the illegals that Biden was importing.
Dude, do you see Caroline there? She's looking at him like, I'm gonna suck this dude's dick off.
Ooh, I want to suck those guys' dicks off.
She goes, man, I'm turned on now.
She's getting all juiced up.
It's getting a little
To our
moist.
country. You talk about due process. The Biden administration made the decision to give extensive due process to two trained Nicaragua terrorists that were apprehended at the border just a couple years ago. They were two gentlemen. They were from Venezuela. They were members of trained Nicaragua. The Biden administration Border Patrol apprehended them and made the decision to provide them with extensive due process, put them onto a program known as supervised release, and put them on ankle monitors so that they could go through a lengthy legal judicial determination as to whether these legal aliens who had just set foot on U.S. soil might want to live in the United States for the rest of their lives. What was the result of that decision? What was the result of that choice that was made? Those two men kidnapped a young girl named Jocelyn Ungary from her family. They beat her, they sexually assaulted her, they tortured her, they stripped her, they murdered her, and they dumped her body. That is what the Biden administration's policy was.
I would, you know what, I would like to see the reporters' faces while he's scolding them right now. That's one thing I would like to see. They never show it, and I don't know what angle. I don't know if anybody's ever going to come out with that video, but I would love to see them just sit in their filth that they've created and get scolded by this man. And it's true, man. Like all these things, they got due process. And the due process, like you said, it's a very big term. What is due process? To find out, like, okay, you got to see a judge. We know that. You see a judge. That's why Tom Hammond said in 35 days you get a bed in the ICE facility. 35 days you see a judge. They determine if you're a citizen or not. They determine that you're going to get removed or not. That's what should happen. And what we're doing now is we're at the point now where they're saying you can't deport nobody, bro. Like nobody.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't deport a fucking rapist, a pedophile, a wife beater, a murderer, I mean, I don't know what you can deport then. Like, what do you have to do? I mean, there could be somebody beheading somebody, and they'll be like, "Give them due process."
Give this man due process, you
He's like
motherfucker.
halfway there. Hold on, did he get due process? I need to find out if he saw 5 judges and they all need
Find a judge now. Is anyone a judge?
I need a judgy. No, like it's so ridiculous, bro.
Why are we doing this?
Like it's such a mind fuck that these people are going out of their way. And what he says next, what he's gonna say next is 100% right. And I've been saying this over and over. Put these motherfuckers in y'all's neighborhood and let's see how you deal with that shit. Let's see when it becomes your daughter. And I could just imagine those people that lost kids to these illegal immigrants that they should have been removed. I could just imagine the pain that they feel knowing that these people, can you imagine like your brother getting tortured, murdered, and then everybody's fighting to bring that guy back home? Like, can you imagine that feeling? I don't know.
The shit, you'll never sleep. You'll never have a moment peace, bro. It'll always be just boiling in the back of your mind. That's like a horrible way to live the rest of your life, knowing that kind of shit.
No, that is, yes, but I'm saying like
and knowing that they're fighting for that person, they're spending tax dollars to try to bring that person back or try to fight for that person to have due process. And yeah, it's insane. What this country's coming to it's
bro, that's
shameful. That's like the best word for it.
That's just a spit in the face of the victims, bro. Like we're not only gonna fight to bring them back, like we're gonna go out of our way and spend your money, your taxpayer money, and the whole state's money to take a trip out there and do a photo op in fucking in El Salvadorian prison. Like, dude, it is, what is it, MCOT? What do they call it?
CCOT.
CCOT. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was something with cot. Or cock. Something. There's a lot of cock in the cot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it
is.
It's insane, bro. It's insane, and this is what he says right here, and I loved it, bro. I loved every minute of it.
Most of your papers never covered her story when it happened. To the extent that you covered it at all, it was because President Trump forced you to cover it by highlighting it repeatedly over and over again. He had to shame you into covering it. And each and every one of you that sides over and over again with these MS-13 terrorists, to the extent that you have the financial means to do so, you all choose to live in condos or homes or houses as far away from these kinds of gangbangers as you possibly can.
Boom!
Yep.
Oh, shit!
Yes, sir.
You fucking...
That's a fucking slap.
He's like straight up. There is a pair of balls, dude. This guy. He just has his balls and he's just like, here you go. Just handing them right on their fucking face.
Fucking just dabbing his balls right on their fucking face.
He's just,
yes.
It's just pure teabag. Teabags.
He should be fucking just dancing up there. You like that? There's more.
I would just pull out my balls. You see it? You see them?
They're just as shiny as my head.
They're perfect circles. They're perfect, just like my head. The circumference on these nuts. They're fantastic.
If I offered any one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay in any of these gang neighborhoods, and I said your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists or Mexican mafia or Sinaloa cartel or Tren de Aragua, I couldn't pay you to live there.
Boom!
But yet you, with your coverage, are trying to force innocent Americans to have these people as their neighbors, and that one day their daughter may be abducted from their home and raped and murdered. So you're not going to get an ounce of sympathy from this administration or President Trump for the terrorists who've invaded our homes and our country.
That dude's a fucking G.
Bro, okay.
Give this man a raise.
Give this man an office viewing the ocean because he deserves it. Now, I do want to say, you could, I mean, everybody can relate to that because you've been at that moment where you're like, all right, bro, you're not going to shut me up now, dude. I'm going to go in on you. I'm going to just give you everything I got because I'm tired of this bullshit. Now, you can hear it in his voice. He's had enough of the press, bro. You could hear it, like just the tone of his voice. You could just hear that. You could see the frustration, hear the frustration. and you can tell he's just like, I'm gonna just give it to you today, and y'all are just gonna look like a bunch of idiots. I'm gonna just make you look like fools in front of the American people.
You can also, man, see that this guy he holds back a lot of his anger. You know, he tries to be as professional as he can, but yeah, I mean, you could just tell he was just done. He was, that's it. I mean, y'all can't even understand basic facts with a picture. We give y'all all the evidence. We give you everything to report, but yet you just don't report this. You just keep repeating the same nonsense as always. He goes, well, maybe I got to explain it a little more harder for you motherfuckers. You know, I mean, that's what it seemed to me like. He was just done. He was done playing, giving it to them easy.
It's very sad.
Well, that's actually what I meant. Done. That's what you said. I couldn't get it out for some reason. But yeah, he was like, done. I'm done. I'm gonna treat you like a bunch of children and make it remedial as possible to show you how stupid and the things you've been fighting for, how dumb you guys look to the American people that are paying attention, and how dumb you look to everybody else around the world, that we are giving all these resources, we're fighting this stupid fight to bring back a bunch of criminals, dude. I'm done, bro. Like, when people talk about it, I'm like, done. I'm all, dude, I can't talk to you no more because you're just too stupid. I'm not the smartest man in the world. I might not be a smart man,
But I know what love is.
but I know what a criminal is.
It's crazy how the hell everyone's just so concentrated on these due process to return them, but yet they didn't give two shits on due process of them coming in the right way.
Or give two shits about due process when they killed and raped and murdered.
No, they will arrest them and they were out like moments later, and they'll go on to another state.
Dude, I loved every minute of that, dude. I loved it. I love to see it. It was like a dad scolding his children. That's the way I felt about it. He was like, I'm gonna fucking tell you what's what, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna listen. And I would love to see the media's face when he was saying that, because some of them were rolling their eyes, they had their heads down. Dude, like, I do want to know that. Do they feel like, do you think they feel any shame? And I want people to put in the comments. Do you think these people feel shame? Do you think they have to go home and they have to tell themselves, man, we're fucked up, bro. We're lying to the people, man. Like, do you think that ever comes across their mind? I don't know, man.
I think there's a few that still have a conscience, and there's a few that still render a soul in their body. But I think there are some of them who don't just give a shit. They're just those type of people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like, dude, there's no way you could do this for this amount of years and just be like going home every day, like, dude, what a piece of shit I've become. Like, look at what I'm doing. And the only outcome I could come up with is they're in a cult that ends just by the means. No matter what, that ends just by the means. So they're gonna do anything to get the outcome that they prefer, or they know they're doing wrong, but they're just like, I don't give a fuck. They're just evil, and they're just like, I'm just gonna keep doing it because I'm gonna get paid. Like, I'm gonna make a living. So it's one of the two. There's only two outcomes from their behavior, because they have to know. I'm sure there's some idiots that don't, but they have to know that they're doing wrong, dude. They have to know.
I think there's some that sit in that. There's some that they're in that media, that press room, and they're there because they got to have that paycheck. They got to pay their bills, and they got to play the role for the program they work for. But I think there are some in there that are just evil, and they like you said, they're in a cult. They're brainwashed too far. They're just beyond, and they lost their insanity years ago, and these are the people they are now. And that's what it is.
They definitely lost their sanity. I mean, yeah, it is a mindless cult, dude, that just feeds off of fucking idiocy, like, just nonsense. Like, I don't know what else. Like, it's just whatever the talking point, whatever they do, they're just gonna, yeah, okay, I'm on board. Yeah, what do we got to do? Oh, this, okay, I'm on board, and it's just ridiculous.